You may have heard the slogan, actions not words, or its Latin form, acta non verba. Now, in this slogan, of course, actions and words are being contrasted, as though to say, you should do something and not merely say something. But what about the case when words are actions? Enter speech acts theory, which is a branch of the philosophy of language that was pioneered by thinkers such as J.L. Austin and John R. Searle. And the basic idea in speech acts theory is that speech is a kind of act. One of the easiest ways to understand this and to motivate this line of thinking is to consider the case of the so-called performative utterance. Now consider as an example a board president who's holding a board meeting. Now, if she were to say that there is a cup of water on the table, she is merely describing an already existing state of affairs. The cup of water is on the table regardless of whether she says there's a cup of water on the table or not. But what about the case when she says, this meeting is adjourned? Now, she's not describing an already existing state of affairs. Rather, by stating that the meeting is adjourned, in other words, by representing the meeting as being adjourned, she makes the meeting adjourned. And this is a characteristic feature of performative utterances. By representing states of affairs as being the case, you make those states of affairs the case. So for example, if I tell you, I promise to take you to the store tomorrow, you can't say, well, how do you know that you promised? Because I am representing, merely by in virtue of that utterance, those states of affairs, namely making a promise, as being the case. And so simply by stating it, I make it the case. And this way, it is somewhat parallel to Descartes' famous, I think, therefore I am, cogito ergo sum, in which there's no real debate about whether or not you exist. Just by virtue of being able to think, you know that you exist, because a non-existent thing can't think. In the same way, merely by representing something as being the case, in the case of performative utterances, you make something the case. And I hope that ties it together for you and motivates you perhaps to learn a little bit more about speech acts theory, which we could talk about next time. Take care.